Welcome to Sriram IAS. Mashri Shankari, Alay Shiva Ignatius. So happy to see you all again for a ethics session. So today we are going to begin the question answer analysis session. As before entering into our topic, I like to introduce that you all know that Sriram's is on Unacademy platform now. So the batch has started on April, since April 13, the batch is going on. You can also join with us, okay, in the preparation for UPSC. And see, these are some links because apart from the GS part, we are also dealing with the optional subjects. So you can click the link in order to connect with the concerned optional subject. Okay. Now, this is the first class. So we are going to see like how the questions are appearing in the mains exam related to ethics and how you have to answer. Okay, so since the first class, I like to introduce from the theory part. As you all know, since you're doing your preparation, that the question paper itself is divided into two parts, ethics question paper. So as part A and part B, this does not change. Part A and part B, this pattern is continued since 2013. This is the pattern. How the questions are appearing, in the part A, they are always holding a theoretical questions, and part B is more or less relatively like kind of problem solving approaches to the issues you are facing in the day-to-day life. Either it can be an administration, either it can be a business. Okay, like this it goes on. Mostly it is kind of an applied ethics part only. So this is part B. Okay, so see, since 2017, starting from 2013, the marks has been distributed in more or less like sometimes equal marks, or sometimes the theory part gets more mark and the case study part gets more mark, like that. But since 2017, there is a fixed pattern of marks. In the marks only I'm saying, not the pattern, fixed pattern of marks for your ethics paper. As you can see, the theory part holds around the major share. 130 marks is given to the theory part, and the case study part has 120 marks. So the pattern varies. Sometimes they used to give one, question number. There are 6 questions in the theory part and 6 questions in the case study part, starting from 2017, and most probably from 2018. Previously, still 2017, it is like 8 questions in the theory part and case study 6 questions. In that way, they will be distributing the questions. But now, since there is a fixed pattern, 6 question, okay, equal number of questions are there in the theory part as well as the case study part. And pattern varies. Sometimes what they used to do, they used to ask 5 2-mark questions in a question. Okay, like suppose, see this, 1 A, B, C, D. This type of pattern is also occurring in the examination. So the 10 mark, because each question, as I already said, 6 question. 6 question will be appearing in your theory part, and 6, 1 A, B. Okay, 2 A, B. Like this it goes on. And the 6th question will have 3 sections, A, B, C. And all the sections will have 10, 10, 10 marks. In that way, if you calculate, it will come around 130 marks. Sometimes what they used to do, the first question, the A part of the first question self divided into again 5 small sections, okay, 2 marks each. This type of pattern is also appearing. Sometimes a 6, in recently in 2022 paper, instead of asking 3 10-mark question in the 6th question, they have shifted that to the 3rd question, okay. Usually we expect in the 6th question, but came in the 3rd question. This way the pattern changes, but the way of answering and all same questions in certain sections, same questions gets repeated again and again, except the dynamic area that I will be explaining for you today. Come to the part B. This is case study part. Today we are not going to take the case study part. We have a separate session for that. So the introducing the case studies. And generally I will give an idea. In the case study, nowadays 120 marks, the questions are appearing for 120 marks. So 6 questions, again, I already told, 6 questions for theory part, 6 questions for case study. So 250 words you have to reply for one question, and each question carries 20 marks. Okay, in this way they have distributed the marks for the questions. Okay, there 150 words and here 250 words, and it doesn't matter because we have page limit nowadays. So it's about for you train yourself, like how I have to write and how many words I have to represent the answer. Okay, this is a general idea about your ethics paper, how the questions are appearing, how you have to appear. So what is expected from you? Because there is a major doubt how I have to write my answers in my in the questions, which is asked in the paper 4 of GS part. Because what they're expecting from me, they themselves is given in the syllabus. You need not go and search anywhere. So they have said that they are going to only test how you're going to solve a problem. Okay, this is more or less like an application oriented paper only. And as we have already discussed in previous sessions also, ethics is always subjective in nature. Okay? Subjective in nature, although there are a lot of principles which is reflected in the the prescriptive ethics, not the descriptive ethics. Prescriptive ethics, if I already studied and going to appear for mains, you would have known about these words. Okay, so prescriptive ethics, where there are major theories. Lot of philosophers are given lot number of theories for you to follow in your life, but it is divided into three schools of thoughts, so that you will be applying. For me, one school of thought may be looking more appropriate for that situation. For you, it might be the different school of thought. Okay, in this way, the school of thoughts, there are three school of thoughts, like deontology, teleology, as well as virtue ethics. So based on these three only, the entire paper will be revolving, especially in the study part. Okay, done. So that way, so they're going to see how you are going to handle a particular situation. If a conflict of interest is arising or a ethical dilemma is coming, then how will you handle that? How are you going to solve the problems you're facing in your day-to-day life, in the private sectors, in the public sectors? This way only the questions will be, especially in the case study part. The theory part, if you see, the questions are very simple. As I used to say to my students, so I'm teaching, this for a longer time. I have been teaching for my students. So I have already used to say that already 8+ years has gone. I have given this idea to my students that, see this, when theory part is appearing, same answers you have to write the questions, but the format gets little bit changed. Most of the questions are in that pattern only, except few dynamic areas which you will be seeing. We are splitting this in 5 classes. In the 5 classes, you will be seeing for each and every unit, I'll be giving a specific importance, and I will be saying like how questions will be asked. Okay, there I will tell you which are the dynamic area, how you have to prepare for it, which are the traditional area, what you have to prepare and keep as a ready-made answers. Okay, so this way only they are going to check your knowledge, right? Then come to the approach. This next question which is asked by an aspirant, like how I have to approach this paper. If you are a fresher, you are going to prepare new, then you have to know this from the basic. If you are also going to appear for this year exam, then you also should know how you have to handle this paper. For that, concept clarity, students. My dear children, I'm telling this longer period. Concept clarity. Without this, you cannot write a good ethics answer, because with concept clarity only there comes a word called keywords. Okay, you will be used to this keywords which is more specific to the ethics subject, because ethics is not a single subject, it's a mixture of three subjects. You have to know, you have to have a philosophical touch, you have to have a psychological touch. Above all, you should be a good administrator. Administration touch should be there. There should be, it's a mix of three. So the keywords are also in such a way that you have to play with the keywords in your answer, and the answers looks more and more appealing to the examiner. In such a way, he has to grant maximum marks to you, and the next forthcoming papers should lose because of your answers. The answer should be in such a way. So that's how we are going to say how you have to write such a appealing and beautiful answers when you are seeing the questions. For that concept clarity, if you are not done, please do the sessions again and have a clarity of concept. Since I was teaching this ethics, I used to say that you cannot separate the theory part from the case study part. Same way, you cannot separate each and every unit, you cannot say, no, this is specifically from the first unit, this is from the second unit, this is from the third unit, and that is from the sixth unit. There is no such things. If you know how to flow through your units, that how you have to interconnect each and every unit and bring the concept, pull the concept from sixth unit, apply it in your first unit, and you produce an answer, that's the most answer it would be. Okay, that's one strategy I'm going to tell you. So use this when you're writing your answers. Okay, don't restrict yourself. Now, this question is from first unit, I'm only going to write in that angle. Then newspaper reading is very, very important also for ethics, because then only you will come to know what is happening at the international level. Okay, what is happening in India, what are the new technologies which are evolving in the market, and what are the ethical implications of that, okay, on the society, or social impact on the of those technologies. That way you would come to know, because applied ethics is gaining more and more importance, and case studies are based on that. And apart from that, administrative ethics, how will you come to know? How you know that a particular problem has arisen? How you are going to solve that? For example, in Manipur, that's a ethnic conflict going on. So each and every day in the newspaper, they are covering a strategy how going to handle this. I don't know how many of you would have done it. Even those who are going to appear for your exams, I don't know how many of you would have done that. So this is a very simple way that you take steps, that you take measures for applying it in your case study part. Okay. So apart from this, you can also read some standard reports given by various committees, okay, especially for the administrative purposes. They would have suggested, okay, these are some of the measures you can bring in order to improve the administration, e-governance, good governance, like this they would have brought. Okay, even corporate governance, that you have to know. Standard answers has to be prepared. Again, a very, very important thing is that example students. I don't know how many of you noticed this in your question paper from the old question paper. I think most of you would have noticed by now. Because it's the initial period, I used to shout like a donkey in the classes that note it. See, every question is coming in the format of illustrate with examples, or explain with examples, or critically evaluate. Everywhere you have to apply the examples which you read from the newspapers, or if you don't have, pull it from your mind. You just make up an example and then give it for an answer. In this way, you have to always add examples in your answers, so that it gains more, answer gains more mark, right? So then this, all of you know that theory plus case study. And as you know, sometimes in case studies also they are asking theoretical questions. This was long said, but now they are applying it in the exams. Okay, in the UPSC you are receiving like that. Fine. Now, how we are going to start our question answer analysis? So, see this. There are 7 units. Some are more important because more number of questions will appear from that unit repeatedly. Some less, that means it is not important. I'm not coming to say in that manner, but comparatively, it's less important because less number of questions are appearing. Every alternate years, or 2 years once, or sometimes even 4 years once, or only one time so far it has appeared. Like that way, giving you some clues. So where you have to focus, which topic you have to be much thorough. So this way we are going to do each and every unit separately. So starting from the first unit, today we will take this first unit. This is a unit that ethics and human interface. Okay. So under this unit, see, these are other units which we'll cover later. Now we'll go the first unit. We have the topics like this, the main headings we can say, like the determinants, consequences of ethics and human action. This is a intro. I used to say this as an introduction to the topic itself, the ethics topics itself. So not only this, we'll be also bringing in more concepts, small concepts inside this topic only in the first unit. Then comes the dimensions of ethics. Okay, the dimensions of ethics, I already told, the various angles you can see ethics, the 360-degree perspective of ethics. Then ethics in public and private relationships, students, this topic is given more importance in your case study part. Okay. So far only one question, one time theory question has appeared from this topic. Then comes human values. This is a separate topic. Okay. So this is a big topic also. And the lessons learned from the teachings, great leaders, reformers, you'll see like this. Last topic is role of family, society, educational institution in inculcating values. Today, except this topic, except the human values, because this I'll carry forward to the next session. All the four topics I'll be discussing today. From this, I'll pull out 4 questions for you to discuss in the today's class. Maximum 4 to 5 questions we'll be discussing in each question answer analysis session. Okay. Before going into the question, directly launching into the question, we'll just first see how these topics are so far, how the questions has appeared from these topics, and from unit 1 starting from 2013 to 2022, how many questions are appearing on an average. Okay. Sometimes people mistake some questions to be coming from the 6th unit or sub unit, or maybe 3rd unit or 4th unit, but that is, I already told, interconnection. So I'll be considering here also, if you know 1st unit, then only you will be able to write that answer properly, and you also should know some other 4th unit or 5th unit to write the answer. So there should be a connectivity. So in that way I have calculated this, and starting from 2013 to 2022, mostly on an average 2 questions to max 5 questions has appeared from this chapter. So that's how this is very, very important each and every year. It's not, see, every year in 2013 there were 4 questions, in 2022 lastly there were 4 questions. So we are expecting it more or less, it should be there around 4 or 3 questions next also. That pattern only the questions are going to appear. So this you can refer later, and then we'll go to the topic wise how many questions has appeared from this 1st unit, and then going to our question, what type of question has appeared and how many questions have appeared. So this way I'll be discussing with you first. I already told the human, this I'll be doing for each and every unit. Okay, once I am taking that unit on that day, I'll be explaining there only. Okay, otherwise it's not useful for you in that manner. It will be very confusing and boring also. See this, I already told the 5 major topics. I have put the topics in this manner. In this, the human values topic is much important, very, very important. So, how you have to approach this topic, how you have to prepare your answers, answer writing practice you are doing, how you are going to do that practice, what type of questions you have to attempt from this human values. First, you should know what is values, how values are differentiated from ethics. Okay, then you have to come human values. What are called human values? What are the basic human values? Okay, so when they're asking questions, they used to ask in this manner that how you can separate ethics and values, and like ethics, how values are also helping you to reach your goal. In this way the questions are given, and sometimes they're giving the quotations from the leaders, from the reformers, and they are connecting that human values, especially the basic human values, no, like peace, love. Okay, you have to do that 5 basic human values: trust, honesty, love, peace. Okay, this way you have to prepare for these 5 basic human values. Apart from this, there are a lot of human values, especially the one which is relevant to these 5 words, like integrity you can take. Okay, this way questions will be repeated again and again from those words, and sometimes from the other human values also. So you have to be prepared, should make some ready-made answers for this, at least the 5 human basic values. Okay, so in the question papers, we'll be finding like integrity is very important. Okay, without integrity, knowledge is not useful at all. In this way, you will be finding some quotations repeatedly appearing. Answers is same only. If you have prepared that answer, then use the same answer. That is the major advantage of writing ethics paper than other papers. Okay, so then the introduction part, as I said, the importance, the role of ethics. This way questions are coming. Role of ethics in your in the human life, in the social life. Okay, that way, or how ethics, what ethics seeks to promote in human life. So this way the questions, direct questions only. So from the introduction part, answer is same. The advantages of ethics in human life, in the social life, in the cultural life, in the administration, in the policy making, that means in the public life. This way you have to prepare answer format and just use that. when these types of questions are coming. So come to the dimensions part. See, next important topic is dimension only. In the dimension, mostly the theory, I already told there are three school of thought. One is the deontology, another is teleology, and another one is virtue ethics. From this deontology and teleology, most often the questions 4 times so far, okay, the question has come. But the format of the question will be different. I'll be showing for you. Even I made that question. I have classified the question in this document. Once the class, today analysis class gets over, you can also go through that. How the questions would appear, one time they took a Thirukural. They said falsehood takes the place of truth when it results in unblemished common good. Everybody started blinking, what is this? But the real meaning is that they have said that we are supporting teleology ethics. That particular Thirukural is talking about teleology ethics only, or teleological ethics, which way you pronounce it is teleology or teleology. So same, they asked one time in 2018, I hope, the question came like this. One theory supports that, okay, means is important. Another theory says that ends justify the means. Which you think is very appropriate? Give your answer. So that is, they are talking about deontology and teleology, and they are asking you to pick one theory from this two and substantiate your answers. Same only came in different pattern. No, falsehood takes the place of truth when it results in common good. That means they are supporting teleology ethics. So you have to give some examples and say, yes, teleology is good. When it is going to do benefit to the people. Same only with additionally deontology you have to write here. So always be prepared with deontology and teleology along with virtue ethics in case of the dimensions. Not only this, again another 2 times the same question is repeated but in different format. The main task in ethics is identification of your question. Okay, you have to read that question and identify that question and connect it with your topics in the syllabus. Your work is done with that. If you are ready with all these things, if you are ready, then you have your only one and only task is to identify the question, what this question is saying, what is the meaning of the question. Once you are able to interpret the question, then your 75% of work is done. If you are already ready with the question, you have to make a beautiful diagram or a flow chart or formula and produce the answer. That's it. That's also prepare now only. You can make some charts. And enroll only 2 times. Same question is repeated again and again. Once in 2017 and once in 2022. The same question was repeated again and again. They talked about the role of family, society, and education institution. Dr. Abdul Kalam's words were given as a question. Okay, so how the family or how the society, how your educational institution, that is teacher, is helping you to gain good values in your life. You prepare a flow chart and keep for that. I don't know if you have studied in your classes, you would have already have done it. If not, now it's the time again, you can do it. So prepare a flow chart, then you write. I used to give to my students this beautiful flow chart. So any question which comes from this section, the same flow chart, you can use it, like with little modifications. That's it. Suppose they're asking only the parents, father and mother, how they're helping, and then you have to use only father and mother there. You have to remove the t from that. This way the answers will help you. And then public versus private, I already told that case studies are appearing more from this section. So one and only time they asked, this is for a 2 mark, personal ethics and professional ethics. That way they asked you to differentiate that. That's it. Then so far no questions has appeared. Even if it is going to appear, they are going to ask the ethical problems which you're facing in the public life or the private life. This way only. So you can use some examples to give the answers for that. Okay. See, these are some of the questions so far which I gave you in the raw format. I have given in the classified format here. You can also see that, as I already told you, this is role of ethics. See, the same question is repeating again and again in different format. That's it. Adherence to ethics in human action to ensure smooth functioning of an organization system. What does ethics seeks to promote in human life? You should not fear. Once you see the question, oh, this much mota question hai. What I am going to do this question itself for 5 or 6 lines. How I will write answer. But if you read the question, it's very simple. And one and only thing is you have to look for that keyword, that connecting word which connects this question with the particular topic. Then your work is done, completed. So this is what they seek from you. And one more thing, detail you have to keep in your mind, students, that sometimes, nowadays in the question, even in case studies, they are asking like this. They are asking 3-4 connecting questions. You can see this. What does ethics seeks to promote in human life? How do ethical values assist in the resolution of conflict faced by a person in the day-to-day functioning? Very general answers only. So if this is a 10-mark question, you have to give a proper weightage for both the question. Since both the questions are same, same number of words, you can represent it. So 5 marks and 5 marks. In that way, you have to give answer. So try to attend every question which is asked to you. Okay, that is another important strategy which you have to follow when you are writing mains. Okay, so this way you have to do, and even see this is the applied ethics part. Yes, when I am talking about dimensions, I only talked about the theory part, but here comes the dynamic area in the first unit. Dynamic area, if they are going to lift a question, they will be taking in the dimensions part only, because in the dimension, we know, if you have attended my classes, I would have talked about the 4 dimension in the ethics. One is descriptive, another is prescriptive. Okay, prescriptive only has this theories. That the 3 schools of ethical thought will come under prescriptive ethics. Okay, then meta and applied. So if question is going to come from dimensions part, it will be from the applied section and prescriptive sections. Applied section, either it can be environmental ethics. In 2015, they asked about environmental ethics. Recently, in 2020 and 2022, you can see this. The question is from the digital transformation, online method. Because COVID made it a mandatory, okay, to transform in every sectors, including healthcare, we are going digital. Anna? Even now, not only administration, not only governance, even farming is also going digital farming. So that's how we are transforming to an online method. And there they asked question in such a way. What are the ethical problems you are going to face us? Okay, and even in 2021 also this question has repeated. See, this impact of digital technology as a reliable source of input for rational decision making is a debatable issue. I already told, traditional part same will be repeated, same answer will be applied. It's more sufficient to write in the more or less little modification. But in dynamic area, that will be totally different section. But even then, both are digital technology only. Here they are taking about decision making, the information which they are giving in case of decision making. There they are talking about the ethical issues related to digital transformation in every sectors. Okay, in that way you have to be prepared. You have to read the newspaper so that you'll get more inputs to write answers for these questions, these types of questions. And also you can see this way, I already told, the human values, when they're asking, they will be giving the quotations by leaders, great leaders, reformers and all. So this like Dalai Lama, very often you'll be seeing persons like Gandhiji, Dalai Lama, Abraham Lincoln, okay, Abdul Kalam, like this you'll be seeing lot number of peoples in that. Okay, so this only the human values. Again, see, integrity is a value that empowers the human being. Justify with suitable illustration, I already told. Critically evaluate with a suitable example. This way, every question they are expecting you to add some examples. Explain that answer with an example only. Okay, like this you can read all the other same more or less this way. See, they discuss the role of ethics and values in enhancing the following 3 major components: national power, human capital, soft power, culture and policies, and social harmony. You might not get fear. The 2022 question was talking about, see, I'll show the relevance. It is talking what ethics seeks to promote in human life. Okay, you can give all the sections like humans, their own development, the culture of the country, the policies of the country. Social harmony means social, okay, society. So you can add a single point as an answer for this question, but there they have asked to elaborate elaborate it for 10 marks. So you have to write in 2-3 sentences for each and every topic. That's the difference, but more or less all are similar. So this way only you have to connect and learn, and these are some of the introduction part, hatreds like this and all, impediments to the ethical action only, that you will be learning. Today I have also added a question from that section, so I'll explain that for you. So these are some of the questions. Okay, so values question I will be again bringing it tomorrow in the next classes, next session I will add it for you. Okay, now I think we'll move to the question answer session. So like this, you can read it. When you have time, you can go through the question which has been classified and put up here. See, again, ethics seeks to promote in human life. Repeatedly, it will come like this only. human beings should be always treated as in themselves and not as means. So based on the theory of teleology and deontology, these types of questions will always come. Okay, so now we'll move to the our question answer session, the question which has been formulated for you from the first unit from the 4 topics, leaving or excluding the human values topic. I am going to give from the rest of the topics. So now this is the first question. Like ignorance, the uncontrollable emotions are also acting as a factor which preoccupies the brain and hinders one's ethical action. Do you agree with the above statement? Give reasons. Now this is a question. So once you read the question, as I said, you follow the same step. You read the question even 1 time, 2 time, or even 3 times. You take your time and read it slowly. Understand what the question is asking to you. It's very simple question and direct question only. First 2 questions which I have done today, which I have formulated today, you are very simple. Okay, from the traditional part I have taken. Last 2 questions which we are going to discuss are from the dynamic area. Okay, with the very recent issues which has went, in the international sphere or even in the national level. That way I have formed a question. Now come to this first question. So what this question is demanding from you? So you may think there is emotion. Emotions means it's from the 4th unit only, emotional intelligence. You can use the 4th unit also here, but this is particularly from this unit where I already told you there is a topic called, the introduction topic. Introduction topic. Inside the introduction topic, I can split the introduction as what are the importance of ethics. Okay, what are the importance of ethics? That is one important topic. Impediments to ethical action. What are those which are acting as hurdles for a person to act in a ethical way or in a moral way? If I want to act in a moral way, what are those which are disturbing me to make me not act in a moral way? That from that section specifically this question is taken. Okay, so in the impediments, if I want to say, you know that when we are forming the answers, I will explain it for you. First, let me finish this particular stand. So this ignorance and uncontrollable emotions are acting as hindrances. Okay, because it is going to occupy your brain and hinder your ethical action. That is a question. So that means they are asking that they are acting as a hurdle to a person to act in an ethical way. Do you agree with the above statement? So the question is this only. Come to the question area. Do you agree with the above statement? Give reasons. Now, every question which we are going to form, I'm going to say how you have to answer for that particular question words. Okay, how you have to approach that question word, how your answers has to be. So this type of question you will be facing in your UPSC exams. Do you agree with the above statement? Give reasons. Yes. Now this statement is true. Okay, definitely when you are going to perform any action perform as a human, you have to be free from all factors that controls you. If you are in a de-individuated situation, okay, so individuated situations, when you are in an individuated situation and not in a de-individuated situations, then you will not have external factors which controls your action, but there is still an internal factor also. So humans always have some factors running inside their mind which controls their actions. Okay, so this is especially the internal factor. It is talking about the internal factor only. Emotion is the highest internal factor which is trying to control our reasoning ability, our way of understanding things. That is a question demanding. Yes, then how you have to begin your answer? Now I will say how you have to structure your answer. Now you have identified the question. You have identified from which unit it is has taken, and you can also connect the 4th unit also here. If you are well enough, you are having a very good knowledge, then you will know how to connect, where to connect, not in the from the beginning, at the end we will connect it. So do you agree with the above statement? Yes. How you have to begin your answer? Yes, I agree with the above statement, and that ignorance and uncontrollable emotions are hindering a person. You need not replicate the same thing there. You can just slightly modify. Ignorance along like ignorance, no? So ignorance like ignorance, the uncontrollable emotions are generally stately, you can write, the uncontrollable emotions are hindering a person to act in a ethical way. Okay, so Now you're going to give the reasons for that. That way, the introduction part should be very small and simple, and don't write introduction and all. Don't give any heading like introduction, body of the question, conclusion. Don't write in that way. It looks very childish. So begin with the paragraph. If possible, you can write a quotation, connect some quotation there, which is related to emotional struggle. And a person, how he's getting hindrance from emotions, his own emotions, is stopping him to act in a reasonable and ethical way. That way you can study and keep some quotations, and that you can use here. Okay, that you have to connect. Then how the body has to be formed. The body you have to start in two step. Very important is two step you have to keep in mind for this question. Always formulate as steps. It will be easy. Okay, first step I have completed, second step I have completed, I have given the entire answer. Now I move the conclusion part and I am going to conclude this question. So in the first part, step 1 in this question, what you have to write? You have to connect this. No, you should not be hanging from. Many of the students are doing this wrong. So somewhere from the sky, the answer will fly down. Anna? So there is no connectivity from the question and the answer. They will write something in the answer, but it is somewhat connected. So there should be complete connectivity. You have to say hindrances to ethical actions or impediments to ethical action or determinants to ethical action. In your syllabus itself, this word is the determinants. What are those which are acting as hurdle to a person to act in a ethical way? Then you can write in a diagrammatic format. Simple way you write internal factors. Okay, then external factors related to this question you can give like this: internal factors, external factors. So not everything you need to represent here, just to give some examples. For internal factors you can write like emotions, uncontrollable. Mention uncontrollable. Emotion is there for everyone. Uncontrollable emotions, pathological state, when you are not normal, pathological state. Okay, so habits like this you can write these. Even your own value systems, values which you possess. No, that's another topic. No? So values, each and every one of us has our own value systems, which we try to acquire in many, through many we try to acquire it. So this values also acting as a factor to hinder our way of acting in a ethical way. These are internal factors. What will be the external factors? Pressure groups. No, not the polity pressure groups. Pressure groups like especially the closed groups. Okay, it can be a closed group or it can be a reference group, but the pressure which is there from outside. Okay, from our friends, from our family, okay, from our relatives, from the society, from the educational institute, somewhere wherever we are going, something which is trying, even the country, even the culture, even the tradition, customs. No, so far we are following a custom in our life. So these are some external factors which are allowing, which are making us, which are acting as a hindrance to act in an ethical way, and which also guides us to act in an ethical way. It's acting in two ways. One, it is guiding, another it is stopping. Okay, so now we are going to discuss only in the prohibition. You can use the external factors, how they are going to affect our way of behavior or way of behaving in an ethical way. This way you have to give diagram, small, very in a short form you have to do, because that's a page limit. This is first step, and then you can underline, you can surround this word emotional, uncontrollable emotions. Okay, now second step for this question, how we are going to give the answer. So second step, see, this first step is impediments to human actions. You have to connect with the question. Then in the step 2, you have to begin by giving examples, reasons. They said no, give reasons for that. Yes, step 2. Then you have to bring in certain examples, connect it with the uncontrollable emotions. See this, I have already formed some answers for you. You can have your own answers. So for example, this is one emotion. If for emotion, if you want to refer, you can refer Plutchik's wheel. Plutchik has given the wheel of emotions. In that there are wheel of emotions, various variant of emotions will be replicated in the wheel format. Okay, so you can lift and study about certain emotions. You can study it. For example, you take anger. When a person is in a severely angry mood, let us say, what happens? This, yes, is there any doubt for somebody? Yes, hello everyone. Sorry, I was not able to get access to the messages. Uh, yeah, thank you, Nikhil. Uh, yes, good. Yes, fine. Any doubt you can ask me so that I can see here and I can reply to you. Then anger. So, okay, fine, anger. How a person when he is in an angry mood, okay? Most of all, if you see the newspapers, lot of examples are loaded there, okay? At least take that, use it as an example here for your exams, right? Uh, yes, hello, Tawshif Raza. Any doubt, I'll be replying. If you're saying hello, a big hello to all of you, one time, now. So that's, so what most of you reading newses like this, man kills wife in rage, and because that many newses like that, he finds a illicit relationship, he's suspicious of his wife having an illicit relationship with somebody. In that possessiveness and angriness, he kills the wife. It is not his motive, he did not plan it for longer days. Suddenly he thinks that something odd, and then he kills the wife. Okay, even it happens vice versa nowadays, wife killing husband, husband killing wife, huh? Even the social media, that's taking a toll on many people's lives, because they are completely there dedicated to the reel makings, reels and all, huh? You would have seen. So that way anger is a major emotion. When it is left uncontrollable, it is taking it is becoming it is clouding your vision. You're not able to understand the situation properly. Everything is hidden out, and you're not able to have a reasonable brain, and you are entering into an action which is resulting in an unethical act. Because if you want, you can add this also. When you are trying, when a person's act is considered an ethical act, when you can analyze it as an ethical act, it has to be in the three format. One is when this person is acting without ignorance, okay, that he should be knowledgeable of what he is doing, have all the information, then he has to make a choice. Okay, so second, if he is doing voluntary activity, voluntariness, okay, that means he himself has to commit that act. Okay, involuntariness and all, no, like sneezing, which is not under our control, those actions are totally different. Voluntariness, it's under our control. I am taking a knife, I am putting on the other person's throat, the knife is under my control, I can control it. Okay, then free will. Many of us will confuse that free will and voluntariness are both are similar, but there is a difference. Okay, suppose somebody is taking the knife and stabbing someone. If I am taking a knife, I'm stabbing someone, that is, I am doing it with my own free will. Nobody has forced me. I want to stab that person, I have stabbed, and it's a voluntary act. But sometimes there is a threat which is near me, that someone is showing a gun to me, and then he's saying, you stab this knife on that person, otherwise I would shoot you. Then I am controlled by that person. It's not my intention to kill Mr. X, but I was made to kill Mr. X. That is something called as free will. So this way, a person is acting with all these things without ignorance, voluntarily that act, and with this free will, then that action is completely analyzed from the ethical stand. As you would have read in the newspaper, a person, couple was living together, and this man has suspected that lady. He planned for killing that lady. He planned for 3 months. He has planned, he have purchased the particular weapons, then cut her into pieces. That's something which we can analyze from ethical stand. But on the other hand, a person who's just asking a wife to give food, the wife is only busy in the social media, and he went outside, she's not working also, he went outside, he's earning money for the house, he comes home hungrily and he's waiting for the food, and she's not giving food. So here comes an emotion popping up, angriness, and because of that he is stabbing the wife. Okay, so that something which he has not planned. He has not planned. It came out because of uncontrollable emotions. His vision got clouded. His brain got clouded. He is not in a reasonable situation. He has committed the crime. Though the crime is crime, it's still a crime. He will also have, get punishment. But this is not completely a planned one. Okay, that's why this free will is completely affected by these factors. Here comes the factors, the external factors, internal factors are all affecting this free will and voluntariness sometimes. Okay, so like this you can give 2-3 examples, not more. Don't load with the example. Sometimes I see like this in the answer writing session, I used to see the answers like this from the students. You can even use intolerance, and you can use a very popular example. Very recently in the newspaper they have given that in a particular UT, the assembly has summoned the senior officers for making a caste slurs. And even this popular case, Athankulam case, where the father son Dio, because of the police officer, he is very intolerant towards the respect, because he is very much caring about his respect ego. He is egoic, so he wants respect from the people. People should obey him. They should not talk back to him. That made the death of these two people. Custodial death has happened. Same way you can use fear. Your own life, you would have seen someone as getting beaten in the bus stand, bus stop somewhere. You are not ready to go and stop that because of fear. You know it is unethical act. You are just watching someone beating somebody and thrashing him with blows, but you cannot go near because fear is stopping you, right? Like this, trust, disgust, like this you can use some emotional words. Give 2-3, maximum 3 reasons how this is clouding your vision, and then you have to complete it. Just 2 lines you just add, like how this emotions and all can be controlled only with the help of emotional intelligence. And that comes the fourth unit. I told you, if you are very knowledgeable and intelligent, you can connect that here. So when a person is having emotional intelligence factor, then he will be able to control this emotions, and he know how to keep it subsidized and use it in the right way. He also has emotion. Everybody has emotion. How to use it? There comes the difference. Okay, so this way this can be acting as a guidance. It is not hurting you to act in an ethical way, but at the same time it does not affect your decision making process also. So when you have emotional intelligence, you can overcome this, right? Now we'll do the next question. That's all, students. Like this only you have to identify the question, then you have to come up with the proper framework of answers. See the second question, this is also from the traditional part. Then from the third question we'll go to the dynamic area. What this question is asking, according to Aristotle, virtues are those values. When you see this much big question, don't fear, read it. Virtues are those values or dispositions which benefit the possessor as well as the community at large. So virtues. Always Aristotle will talk about virtues, and there comes virtue ethics. Virtue ethics. This is one school of thought. I don't know. Ethics has 3 schools of thought. One is virtue ethics. But as of Immanuel Kant, if you have studied it clearly, you know where Immanuel Kant will come. So human beings are bound from a knowledge of their duty as rational beings. So this word, this is keyword. You have to for you to identify the question. Okay, duty as rational being. Where duty is as a rational being, that is something called as deontology ethics. These are keywords. When you have studied, your teacher would have taught you deontology ethics, duty based ethics. And to obey the categorical imperative is his theory, to respect other rational beings with whom they interact. But according to ideas of Bentham, Mill, the guiding principle of conduct should be the greatest happiness of the greatest number. Again comes the keyword, greatest happiness to the greatest number of people. So somewhere we have learned this. What is it? This is called as teleology ethics. Teleology, or this is otherwise called as consequential ethics. Okay, consequential. Um, yeah, very good. Consequential ethics. Okay, so now they have given 3 kinds of ethics to you. This question is again and again repeated in a, ethics question paper almost 4 times, but in different format they have asked the question. So I have given frame this question also. Which view do you think is more appropriate while making moral choices? Justify your answer. This is a question which is asked to you. So here you have to decide which is appropriate view in order to make moral choice in your life. See, most of all, what you will think. First, you have identified the question now. This is a question. It is talking about 3 schools of thought. Now, when I'm making a decision in my life, when I'm going to solve a problem, which view I will prefer? That is a question which I am going to write now. That's what this question demands. And you have to justify your answer. Okay, so most of all people used to select either one deontology theory or teleology theory. Okay, so sometimes you can say, you can use a very safe word called situation here. Situation. Okay, situation. That you can say that in this based on the situations, okay, I will choose either a deontology ethics or a teleology ethics. In that way you can give your answers. So see this, how you have to start writing your answers. Like first you have to, the body is like describing the views on the ethics. First the three kinds of ethics you can describe in small like this, A, B, C. You can write the virtue ethics. What is virtue ethics in one line? Then teleology and deontology with small diagram you can use otherwise. Okay. The means and ends. I already told you, no, I have done in my classes. So when a human is trying to act in such a way, he always opt a means to perform an action, that is end. Okay. So you can use some example now. This diagram, now you are going to use the example and just going to explain which view is appropriate for you. Example number 1. Okay, how will you write the answer for this question? Simple. So here this is means and this is end. Okay, now a human is there, when he is performing an action, that is end, his goal is this is a goal. He will opt a means to achieve that goal. Okay, so deontology always says that you have to focus on the means. Means is equally important like end. You cannot go through false means in order to achieve the false end. Okay, so you have to give importance because duty based ethics it is, right? So here means is equally important like end. But teleology ethics is saying that end is important. I don't care about means. For me end is only important. I don't take care of the means. I can opt any means. That is why like Robin Hood kind of people who are stealing to help the poor people are appreciated in the teleological ethics, because they steal to give to people. They're helping the poor people, that is the end. But how they're helping? Stealing money and helping. That is teleology ethics. And here virtue ethics will always not go to teleology or deontology. They will be in the safe side. They will say virtue is very important. Okay, based on the virtue only I will be trying to see there is certain virtues in life which a humans has to follow. Since he is brought up in the in such kind of environment, he will learn those virtues, and from that virtues he knows how to behave in a particular situation. This way virtue ethics says that a virtuous person will always exhibit virtuous act only. This is something like an abstract kind of theory only. Okay, mostly these two theories will play a larger part. And so now I am going to have give an example for you. Like for example, one. Suppose you are a doctor. You can mention an example like this: a doctor attending a lady, a pregnant lady, and now that child, if the child is to be continued, if the pregnancy is to be continued, that it is going to cause severe damage to the mother. Okay, mother will be under threatened situation. She will die if she is trying to carry forward with this child. Now the doctor has predicted the situation. So here he is opting an means of abortion in this situation. Abortion situation, I told you, use the word called situation. Based on the situation, I will either support the deontology ethics or teleology ethics. In this situation, in order to protect the child life, okay, sorry, protect the mother's life, the doctor preferred abortion. Abortion is not the right means, but he has preferred it. Why he has preferred it? Because to make the mother live. Okay, so this is something called as teleology ethics is saying. On the other hand, come to example 2. Suppose a person who is visiting a hospital, and in that hospital 5 patients are admitted. 5 patients have organ failure. Okay, so you all know teleology ethics means greatest happiness to greatest number of people. Okay, so this theory here I have applied teleology ethics. But in case of the second example, now this patient is visiting just for headache or some small mild fever. Now the doctor came to know his blood group is matching the 5 people who have admitted there for organ transplantation. Now, can this person kill this one man, healthy man, and supply the organ to the 5 people? mainly the teleology ethics in that pattern only. It is discussing in that pattern. So here I cannot use teleology ethics because when I'm making a moral choice, I will always go opt for the balanced, the situation based thing. And apart from that, less harm to the people. The choices which I make has to be less harm to the people. So this way you have answers has to be. Okay, your answers has to be in this only. So you can give based on the situation, I can opt, and for that you are giving an example and you are justifying your answers. Okay, so this is the second question which we have done. Now we will move to the third question. Third question. This is a dynamic question. So far, since the first two questions is a traditional question, I have given an answer in an elaborate manner for you so that you can note that and then you can use it in your exams. See, this question is in such a way that push for AI innovation can create dangerous products and ethical debt. Discuss with suitable examples. Because very recently there were a lot of newses related to AI, artificial intelligence. AI means artificial intelligence innovation. So generally, like the drone, which has the commander, the one who is giving the order to him, was killed by the drone itself. Artificial intelligence enabled drone. Say the intelligence enabled cars killing the people. Oh no, crashing people. This way, a lot of news are appearing. That's why we have picked up innovation. So this question, see this, discuss with suitable example. This is another question word which you have to note. What you will do when a question is asked like this, discuss with suitable examples. Then what you have to do, you have to give the positive side also. You have, the statement is given in front of you. You have to just discuss about statement. So you can say, yes, AI innovation is also giving benefit to the people. It's mainly brought to give benefit to the people only. But now lot of products has causing harm to the people, especially the social harm and the ethical harm are resulting from the AI innovation. Way you have to formulate the answers. Okay, this is the shortest form I have said for this question. So how you have to begin your question, answer for this question? You have to give an introduction about the AI, first of all, artificial intelligence. Like as I have given, since this is a dynamic area, I have given an answer for you. You can also read this. Okay, so you can say that artificial intelligence is it's a branch of computer science only, where this technology is brought to help humans behave like a human only. We are aiming that we have to convert it like a human, but there are a lot of dangers we have to face. One such danger only I told you. Now it happened. So it is used for various tasks. What how humans will do? It is mainly used to help the humans to do those tasks. So give just small intro about AI innovation. Okay, so this is here. As I have already have given certain some lines related to that, some sentences related to that, and it is there for performing the human tasks such as interpreting speech, even playing games and identifying the patterns, all small things. When you enter internet, starting from a search engine, it's all AI enabled only. Okay, so now let us discuss this the threats faced and the challenges we are facing in the AI sector, AI innovation sectors. Okay, so first how you will be this, the first step one, step two. Okay, in step one you will be giving the benefits or the advantages which are resulting from the AI innovations, artificial intelligence innovations. What are the benefits you are going to reap? Starting from assistance. Everyday life is made easier, like safe banking, better medicines we are taking, telemedicines, no, guidance from the AI only. Even the assistants like Alexa you take, Siri you take. Okay, all these are smart assistants we are having. Same way the search engines, spam filters, email spams, no filters. Like this we are having. Even the deep blue. Long back, IBM has developed this for chess, no, online chess masters played. So this you can have, and the benefits of the AI you can give first. You can discuss. Mainly the AI was brought to fit the human beings only, to assist the human beings, and some of the advantages we are getting, a lot of advantages we are getting through AI are these are I can say the weak AI and strong AI. Now we are going to the second version, stronger AI is used. So second part, this is first step. We are discussing about the benefits of the AI. Now you have to come to the second part. How you will be taking the second part? the threats and the ethical problems. Danger. See the question. The question is saying can create dangerous products and ethical debt. So you have to discuss both the threats faced from the AI and the ethical problems you are facing due to the AI innovations. So for that, you have to give examples. You start from driverless cars. Tesla recently, Tesla has started that driverless cars, but 16 crashes has been recorded by this US National Highway Traffic Safety Administration has recorded 16 car crash, which uses the Tesla software only. And they identified that this autopilot software, what it is doing, when it is predicting a danger, when the car is about to crash somewhere, it is completely closing the software. How will then the car operate? The car cannot operate, so it is going and then it is crashing somewhere. And here again, the software or the car manufacturer is not responsible for the crash. Who is responsible? The driver is responsible. That much harmfulness the software has been created in such a way. AI is completely closing itself, and then it is not guiding, it is not driving the car. Okay, same way the incident took place in 2018, the Uber self-driving car also, which killed a woman because the AI was not able to predict the lady, the women who is crossing that road, because only on the jaywalkers, the crosswalks, you would have seen that it is predicting the people who are walking there only as the humans, and then it crashed that lady. So this is harmful product. The software has been developed, but it is not, the harmfulness of the software has not been addressed or rectified. Same way, this is the recent event which took place, the drone which killed the person who gave orders to it. Okay, so the drone was made in such a way that this is the aim: autonomous aircraft to be developed in the as a fighter jets or fighter planes. US Departments of Defense designed. For that, they brought a drone, and the drone main aim is to target the enemy flights, fighter jets. Now, this was put under trial, and that person who gave order to the drone has said that stop that order, stop that process of hitting the enemy target. You said, Anna. Now the drone did not listen to him. The AI, because AI is enabled in it. The command was given in such a way, the program was done in such a way that if somebody is trying to stop you to do your work, when you are detecting a threat, okay, when you're detecting an enemy aircraft is approaching you, you want to hit it. When you're detecting it and somebody is saying don't do it, you kill them first. So the AI killed it, the drone killed that person. So this way, there is a lot of harmful products resulting from AI, and yet there is a room for improvement. Lot of room which is there, where the product has to be improved. Now come to the ethical implication. This is a major part of that artificial intelligence. No, ethical and the social implication which are resulting due to artificial intelligence. Anna? So as I say, ethical debt. It results from the mainly you take technical debt. Mostly when you're developing a software, developing a technology, you'll be always taking care of technical debt. Technical debt is a word that you will introduce the software, okay, and not scan for the bugs. Later, when the software is in the market, then you will rectify each and every problems after that. After introducing the market, you will rectify the bugs which is there, which is reflected in the program. Okay, that is technical debt. But what ethical debt? That's a word which is shown in your question also. Technical debt. That means you are overseeing the social and the ethical harms, which is the consequences, which is resulting due to this advancement of the technology. Okay, that is called as technical debt. So what are those societal harms and negative consequences resulting from that particular technology? You have to give us a, so that's why I told the step number one, write the benefit. Step number two, you have to discuss about the social and the ethical problems and harm and the ethical problems. So in the first part of the second is that the harmful product which is resulting from this AI. And the second part is going to focus on the ethical depth. So what are those ethical problems which you are going to face when you are bringing this AI? The first thing is that inequality will prevail. The bias and inequality, already this is the problem in case of digital transformation. The marginalized community are already underrepresented. Again, when you go to artificial intelligence, same applies for artificial intelligence also. The biasness and the inequality will persist among the people. So this way you can see that, this is the one important unethical problem, important ethical problem which is there, which is a result of this AI technology. Second, safety, because we are in the cyber world, but how much cyber security we give to our children, we have our own selves. As I already said, lot number of children are repeatedly there in the internet playing games. Okay, so I have mentioned only few here. You can also add some more points. First, bias and unequal. Second, safety. So when trying to play games, there comes a pop-up advertisement. Even now, when they are playing games, you can see advertisement now and then. So there comes cyber hashing. The content, the obscene content which a child should not see is shown to a child. Okay, is forced. A child is forced to see that, and he doesn't know how to close that ad. And this is happening in the internet because of this AI, Chat GPT. These types of is a greatest concern now. Chat GPT, which is under discussion. Okay, even this leads to cheating, misleading informations. We are loaded with misleading informations also. Okay, so this way you have to be very careful when you are using it. And the unjust and it is creating an unjust and discriminatory world, because people who are creating this software, this AI, is not the one who is going to get affected in the future. Because at that time it will be totally different. So here they are launching this AI without even rectifying the harmfulness or problems which they are facing when developing this AI. And later this is they will escape this easily, but the one who is not at all involved into the creation of this is going to get affected because of this. Okay, so as even now you see, the one who developed it is simply staying somewhere, and that the people who are walking as a pedestrian is affected because they are undergoing the crashes. They get killed because of that. Another important thing you can add, if you want, anthropomorphize. This many of the people, students will never give. What is anthropomorphize? This is a problem which is happening in the internet world. See, we are trying to, because AI is trying to behave like a human. Now you are seeing a machine in the form of human. That is anthropomorphize. You are trying to morph that machine into a human, and you try to talk to him like how you own a pet. You are owning a machine. So there is a risk, a lot of risk, where how psychological entanglement is happening with the technology. That's a many films and all is made now. Mostly if you go to the K dramas, C dramas, a human will love a machine will love a human. Even here also, machine is loving a human. This is what we call a psychological entanglement. So they are fearful that in the future this may lead to complete psychological entanglement, and the device, that is AI, will make use of this emotion from the humans as a threatening weapon. Okay, so like they will blackmail a human with that emotions. This way emotional advantage will be taken by the machine. So these and all is put forward. So these are some of the ethical issues I have listed out for you. And even you can also connect that AI is going to take over the humans jobs in the future, although it is going to make a new world, a new job, but it is going to take the place of humans, and most of them will be left jobless only. So this way you can see that these are some of the ethical problems we are going to face due to AI technologies, as well as the social problems. Okay, so some I have given here. You can also add few more points. And when you are giving answer to this kind of question, it is a discussion. So you need not give a proper conclusion, or you need not take a proper stand here. You have to just reflect that statement. That is how the statement is given, you have to reflect it. So you have to start, you can start with the other side and then you complete with the question side. Okay, question side is saying AI is harmful, AI is dangerous. Yes, you conclude in that manner, AI is dangerous. In one line, if you want, you can say that In order to improve, then what you have to do, you have to first focus on the harm reduction strategies. Okay, so that performance of AI can be improved and it can be giving more benefit than giving harm. Okay, in this way, you have to conclude the question if it comes in this pattern. Okay, so this is one dynamic question we can take relative to the question, related to the first unit. First unit, if dynamic question is coming, then it will come from the applied ethics part only. One time they about war related question. You know, very often in my classes, I used to discuss international ethics. It's a part of this applied ethics only, but it has been segregated and put under a separate topic for you in the syllabus. Under sixth unit, you will see international ethics. So from the international ethics, I framed a question. I used to always teach. There are certain topics which I generally handle to the students, handle for the students. One topic is war. And when Ukraine-Russia war is going on, they ask that a question paper. So do you understand now? So when something is happening in the international level or in the national level, when it is related to that topic, they will put that as a question to you. So they asked what are the ethical problems which are faced during war. Same, especially they asked related to two part of the question was on that Russia-Ukraine war. Where the question was posted in the UPSC exam. So same way, the applied ethics, if you can focus on the bioethics. Now bioethics is gaining more attractions. So you can focus on bioethics. You can focus on digital ethics. Even the Digital India Act (DIA) is proposed to replace the Information Act. Okay, IT Act. Uh, yes, so like this, yeah, Anshu, yeah, we'll do that. Okay, okay, good. So DIA is proposed, it is in the proposal stage. 2023 DIA, that is Digital India Act. So be prepared in the mind that there might be a question from digital ethics. Maybe this year or next year they may ask a question, so you have to be prepared. See, in applied ethics part, environmental ethics, twice they have asked a question. One in the theoretical part, one in the case study part. So be prepared with the environmental ethics, digital ethics. Like very often the questions will revolve in this manner, and private, that is business related case studies will appear in your exams. So this way the questions will come. Now we will move to the last question. See this question. You shed DNA everywhere you go. DNA, deoxyribonucleic acid. No, I think the form is this. If you're a biology student, you know that. Trace samples will be found in water, found in sand, found in air, are enough to identify who you are. Anna, raising ethical questions about privacy. Now we are talking about Aadhaar. So this is another important issue which is going on without our knowledge, without even us knowing about it. It is happening in the outside world. Now recently scientists have proposed it outside to the people. Be aware. Formulate, bring regulations, bring policies in such a way that this field has to be regulated. So I have framed a question from this. Critically evaluate. So this is another word which you will be seeing in your question paper. When this particular word is asked to you, critically evaluate, what you will do, how you have to write your answers. First, you have to evaluation. How will you evaluate? You will take the benefits, you will take the disadvantages. So you have to give positives, you have to give negative points, then you have to take a stand, and then you have to conclude. Okay, that is critically evaluate. So how you'll this question, how you have to write this question? First, you have to know about it. That's why too newspaper reading is must. So this is what the question is talking about, is something called as eDNA. It is talking about eDNA. Okay. We know DNA, but what is eDNA? Environmental DNA. Environmental DNA. It's talking about environmental DNA. Now, in this type questions only is attracted by the UPSCs because less known about it, but still it is there. It is existing. So what happens? The question saying that wherever we are walking, we are seeing the DNA somewhere in the air, somewhere in the land, somewhere in the water. It is there. So we were opposing Aadhaar for the biometrics which we used in the Aadhaar, the iris scan there, the fingerprints reflected there. If it is lost, what will happen? So our privacy is threatened. But what will happen if eDNA is utilized or falls in the false hands? If it goes in the false hands, what will happen? So that only we are going to write today. So critically evaluation, first we are going to give the benefit. We are going to reap this eDNA. First step, before entering into the question, you can just give a small diagram. Don't give this much big diagram. Entire page will get over. Page limit is there for you. Just represent it in a small, short way. This part is important. Okay, so what happens? This is how the eDNA is collected from various, places. As samples, it is collected. Either can be from the snows or the ice. It can be water. It can be soil. It can be soil or sand. Okay, then sea waters and even air. Air, it is there. Now you sneeze, and that in the air you can find the DNA floating. This way, they are retrieving DNA from the environment, extracting it and reading it, using it for various purposes. Actually, scientists has been doing this for longer period. They have traced this eDNA not for humans, for the animals, because to identify and understand the biodiversity of the place. You cannot go to each and every animal. Please, tiger, give me your fingerprints, give me your nail, give me your hair. I want it from you. You cannot say to a wild animal. Most often using the eDNA. We are going to a place, we are collecting the samples, we are checking that how much biodiverse this area is, what are the organisms which are present, what are the pathogens which are present, the disease causing microorganisms which are present in the particular places. This way they are identifying using the eDNA. Okay, so now the question, now the major problem is related to using the human's DNA from the environment. How you are going to retrieve that human DNA from the environment? How this is going to cause an ethical issue, ethical implication. That way you have to discuss your answers. So first, what you have to do, you have to mention the positive points. So you can say that all animals, all starting from animals, plants, and even the microorganisms will leave the traces of DNA in the environment. Okay, so it can be in any format. Water, in the water you can find, in the air you can find, in the soil you can find the DNA. So through this, what they're trying to do, they're trying to identify the health problems. Generally for animals, the biodiversity as well as the pathogen which causing the health issues, diseases, like that you can take. But in case of human DNA, you can call this as human genetic bycatch. You can call this by a word called human genetic bycatch. And here you can trace the human lineage itself, the gender of the person, the health risk associated with that person. Okay, when it goes in the hands of archaeologists, they can even go and trace down your ancestors. The unknown human settle can be discovered from the DNA. When it goes in the hands of the forensics, law enforcement agencies, forensic information they can retrieve from that particular DNA. Like this, for various people, it is useful in various ways. But come to the ethical implication related to this eDNA. What are the problems? First question is consent. I am here, I am walking, I am going for walking every day out of my house. So one person is watching me every day, and now he want my traces, my DNAs. So when I'm walking in that particular environment, I sneezes, he can collect it from the air. Now, in the future, you need not take a big, because once this computer was introduced, computers was in the size of a room. Now it is like in the size of a, in the chip, but you're accessing every information. Same way, in the future, the device which is going to trap the DNA from the environment can also be in the small chip size, and he can following me. He can take my DNA. I may walk barefoot in the beach, and from my footprint, he can take the DNA, collect the DNA. My hairs would have fallen somewhere down. He can collect the DNA. He can frame me for some criminal cases. Okay, so that is why they are asking the consent. The ethical implication is first consent. Whether from whom you are going to take permission and how you are going to take permission to collect the environment DNA from a particular places. There is no regulation such a way. So it is going to affect the complete, it is going to be totally unethical behavior of a person to collect the eDNA. But now scientists are doing it. They used to avoid, they used to exclude the human DNA and use the wild animals DNA. But everyone will not do that. So confidentiality, second thing is confidentiality is not ensured. Okay, fine. Aadhaar, same problem, no. For providing, nowadays they are saying a mask Aadhaar. You use a mask Aadhaar. Previously we doesn't know that, many of us has shared it with many people, so they do data theft. You give the other details, everything of you is given to them. Anna. So now they use that information for various purposes. They used to fake something. They used to do involve in certain crimes, and then they can manipulate, and they can just force, impose some other person in that name. So confidentiality is not ensured when people collect this eDNA. They may share it with various other agencies which are making use of the DNAs for various other purpose. Okay, so that we are saying confidentiality not ensured, and it may lead to oh, yes, Rashid Khan, first time in my classes, very good. May lead to mishandling and irresponsible retrieval of information. Okay, that's why I told you irresponsible way this information can be handled by the people, and if it falls in the false hands, data theft only, it results in data theft without even our knowledge. Our data will be some with some other people's hand. Okay, and even unethical invasion of humans privacy will happen unnecessarily. If I want to note some person, I want to know about his lineage, I want to trace down everything about him, his illness, everything. What I can do, I can just collect a sample. I can threaten him future. In the future, I can threaten him. So this way, this unethical problems are going to arise due to this eDNA. So when you are going to say that yes, there is some benefit, there is some negatives like this, and this way you evaluate it, and more negative than more harm than benefit. Okay, although there is some benefit, but there are more harm which are going to result from the eDNA point, and then you have to say the way forward, like the policy makers you take, scientific communities, even other stakeholders, anyone who are going to take the eDNA, they have to take it in the serious manner. The collection, when they're trying to collect it, has to be considered in the serious way, and there should be and there should be protection against the collection of the eDNA and studying of the eDNA. There should be some rules and regulations which has to be made, that the collection, analysis and data storage are carried out ethically and appropriately without affecting. Okay, I think that's it. Something is missing, but without affecting people's privacy. That's it. Okay, so you can add that word. This way, I have given an elaborate answer for you for the last two questions. Since it is a dynamic area, I have given like that. You can, I have written, okay, in the previous two questions I discussed, here I have done it for you so that it will be easy for you to use it when you are giving your exams. So this way you have to give your answer for different questions, words you have to give in a different format, you have to answer. Same only, I cannot say that you have to write from left to right and right to left, top to bottom or bottom to top. This way there is no changes. But the same format only. First a small paragraph, then bigger one, the body of the content, and then you are going to conclude it in 3 lines. But when you are trying to address each and every question word, based on that question word, you have to give weightage to the body or the conclusion part also. Along body, the conclusion part in some cases. Okay, sometimes there is a direct question, 2-3 parts in a single question. Every part has to be addressed in your answers. Okay, so and see this about, like, except the human values, I have discussed all the other topics of your first unit. I have discussed here. I have given you some and I have framed certain questions and used to be used by you, and how you have to give your answers. Other than that, you can also prepare that the import, say this often alternate, mostly sometimes continuously questions are coming, or sometimes in alternate years the questions are coming. So always be prepared with the importance of ethics in human life. You can draw a diagram or a flow chart, anyway you can make some notes. You can write then the importance of ethics in human life, in development of human. Okay, what it will promote in the human individual, then how it will bring in the how it is helps in the social harmony in the society, from the angle of society, how it is helpful in the culture, maintaining culture of a country. Okay, then in the public life, that is like especially the policy formulation. Okay, the policy formulation, how it is helping. uh, so even the administrators, how they are going to how ethics is going to help them, and the policy makers and the administrator, one who implement the policies, policy implementations. This way you prepare a note. Okay, so the question will be asked in different format will be changed. but answers more or less are similar only. Okay, only you have to understand the question. Say this I have already told when I'm discussing the question. I told you be prepared with the Digital India Act. There was some concept of moonlighting. Maybe this not will not be asked as a separate question. Sometimes if they are using this word in the study, you should know what is moonlighting, and that you know taking the same 2-3 jobs at the same time. COVID period only this has started, and some organizations are opposing it because it is to affect the work performance, as well as it's also going to create a lot of health issues in the people. So this you prepare some notes related to that. Role of family, society, educational institutions. I already told you. Prepare a chart how your family is going to help, how the society is going to help, how all the other things is going to even educational institutions, how they are helping you to acquire the values. Internalization of values is important. That is how you are imbibing value systems through socialization process. That for that you make a chart and keep, and you can use it every places like family. It can be in the society, it can be in the education institutions. Okay, students. So far we have seen the first unit and some questions, related questions. I have done an elaborate discussion only so that it will be helpful for making an answers for other related questions like this. And I have given up some questions also. The previous year questions here, I have clubbed it for you. So it will be easy for you to understand how these questions with slight variations or slight modification only, they are asking repeatedly the same and same question from the traditional part. But only from the, dynamic areas like applied ethics, very recent issue which is going on will be picked up, and then they will frame that as a question. Okay, so since it was COVID period, they were asking about online transformations. So again they may come back to some science and technological advancements related questions might appear. That's why I have put up one related to the AI innovation here again, and then something related to bioethics. That now not three parent baby or this and that are all very old concept. Now very recently they are talking about DNA. Okay, so that way how to give your answers. Okay, fine. So all the best. We'll again meet in the next session, and happily we'll connect again, and I'll give more inputs to you, more keywords to be used in your questions. When you're facing your mains, face the mains with happy faces. There's nothing to fear at all. Fear will, again we also made a question in that only. Fear is going to cloud your vision. Keep this in mind. If you are fearful, you will not be able to face anything. Face with brave heart. You are there to crack this exam. So keep this in mind and be confident. And again and again, use the same words, read the same keywords, write keywords and keep for any subject you take, not only ethics, any subject in the mains paper, you take and write the important keywords in a small diary or in a small note. Repeatedly read it. Try to use it when you're writing answers. Okay, answer writing practice when you're doing, you try to bring those words and connect, and then give an answer. It will be very much appealing to the examiner. And as I said, use smart techniques. As one of my students scored top mark, used to do that, even I would wonder like how each and every question, one question you can write a diagram, one question you can draw a flow chart, one question you can give a formula, but how this person is able to produce the entire answers in the smart way, like diagram, flow chart, only forms. This way, the entire paper that student you write. So same way, you can also try this method. You practice, only through practice it will come perfectly. So keep this in mind and do the best way. Okay, try like answer writing, but it should be in the UPSC pattern. Don't try all the questions, irrelevant questions. Don't try at all. Take that, compare it to the question paper. See, yes, this is in the UPSC pattern. I'm going to try this question. I'm write it. I'm going to evaluate it from my teacher, and I'm going to see whether it is right or wrong. Okay, so this way we will connect again. Thank you all. Have a great night.